Hello, hello! Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to more really nerdy cello talk. And today, I thought we should go right back to basics and look at one of the foundations of how to play the cello, and not only that, but how to play the cello well, and that is creating a really strong and sustainable left hand shape. To start with, we need to ask ourselves, what does a really natural, comfortable left hand shape actually look like? And to investigate that, I thought I would draft in my absolutely non-negotiable teaching and practice companion, and that is my cup of tea. So let's pick up a mug. Let's just do that and let's have a look. What do we see? So that's one side, right? And what do we see when I turn it around? I see that my thumb is pretty much more or less right opposite my middle finger, right? My second finger. Now, why do I choose this particular test? And in fact, I also use that same test for working out, really, if you've watched my bow hold video, I use the same test there. Why? Because when we pick up a glass, a mug, or whatever else, we don't think about how we do it. It's something we do totally instinctively. And when we do something totally instinctively, we do it in line with our anatomy, right? So, hence my mug test here, yeah? So we have got fingers on one side, thumb pretty much opposite the second finger, right? So when I take the mug away, I'm left with a sort of shape, right? Just really easy. Nice and round. You can see what we've created here is what I always call this sort of C shape here. Yeah, you can do that, I spy here. So we've got this nice opening, and that's how we are naturally built. Of course, once we try to transfer that initially, when we're not used to that, transfer that to the cello, that is much easier said than done. So let's look in a little bit more detail as to how we can achieve that quickly and what we need to watch out for in the process. Another prop I really like to use in this process is one of these, a nice squishy hand exercise ball. You can either order these very easily, very cheaply on a platform like Amazon, or alternatively, you can also substitute it just for comfort with either, if you have it at home, a tangerine, a lime, a peach, or anything of roughly that sort of shape. Yeah, you don't want much thicker than that, but so you either get one of these, or you can use a nice round small piece of fruit. Kiwi is another option. Yeah, so we're going to take that and we're going to do essentially what we just did a second ago with the mug. You just do that, right? And because it's a little bit squishy, we can actually here simulate the kind of elasticity that we are going to feel once we are touching the string, right? What we're going to touch is not solid, it has got this sort of springy feeling. So that's why this is a really good starting point. And you can see here that I'm maintaining my C shape at all times. And here you can just get this feeling for slightly, you're not trying to, squash this ball. You're just trying to sort of make a very slight dent into it. And actually, while you're doing that, you're building a lot of very useful, important strings here. Yeah? Now, take particular note at this point of my thumb. The one thing we absolutely don't want later on when our hand is on the cello is for the thumb to do that. Yeah, to sort of curving kind of on itself. Yeah, actually, my thumb doesn't bend. I'm not double jointed at all. My thumb won't go that way at all. But I have seen a lot of people where this can bend. I mean, almost up to full 90 degrees here. Yeah? So the more bendy your joints are, the more you're going to have to watch out for that. Why do we not want that? Very simple. Now, look at my hand shape as it is right now. Look at my finger shape with the thumb round. And now look what happens when I start to twist that thumb. Can you see what it's just done to my fingers from that shape to that shape? Now, you don't need to be a genius to figure out that if that happens on the cello, that means intonation trouble, right? So that's something we want to avoid from the word go. And therefore, this exercise, yeah, learning to keep the C shape, learning to control this little sort of bouncy feeling here. Yeah, so try that out first of all with either your squishy ball or your little piece of fruit. And next, we're going to talk about how to place this onto the cello. We're going to carry on holding our squishy ball or our piece of fruit for a little while longer, while we first of all learn the arm placement and the arm movement that's going to place our hand onto the fingerboard. The most important aspect here is to ensure that we do that in such a way that our upper body remains completely aligned and completely still. So what we don't want to see, what we don't want to be doing is anything of that sort. And that's a very, very, very common mistake, that especially because when we start with the left hand, there is often a tendency to look at the left hand. And as you're doing that, you can see it as I'm doing it, the left shoulder goes back, the right shoulder comes forward, and everything is twisted. Now, not only is that going to make playing much more difficult, but it's also a wonderful way in the long run to provide work for your physiotherapist, chiropractor, osteopath, whoever you like to see. So you see where I'm going with that. Make sure you keep your shoulders aligned. Yeah, one check that I always tell my students about is really make sure that your shoulders are right above your hip bone here. Yeah, so you should be able to draw a straight line from your shoulder down to your hip on both sides. So if the shoulders are in front on one side and back of the hip bone on the other side, no good. Make sure it's absolutely level. Yeah, so we keep our upper body, our torso absolutely level. What do we do next? First of all, we've got this back in our hand. Open your arm all the way out to your left. And next, find your elbow crease and now fold in half until your little ball of fruit is on the string. Yeah, one more time, out. So again, we have got our elbow, our hinge joint here. It's really like opening and closing a door. There you go. And out and back in. Out and back in. You can see while I'm doing that, everything here is completely calm, completely level. No turning involved, yeah? Everything there. And you see when I do that, I have got really easy access to the whole of the fingerboard. Yeah, so just, why am I doing it still with the ball in situ? Because it helps you to do it with the correct hand shape. And one more time. Now that the ball is gone and we're going to do it for real, we first of all need to find our alignment point, i.e. which finger is going to be the anchor around which the entire hand is shaped. And that, contrary to what you might think, is not the first finger, but the fourth finger. Why the fourth finger? Quite simple, because our first finger, frankly, we can more or less get away with murder here. Yeah, so it can be here, it can be here, it can be here, and you're still somehow able to catch that note, right? By the time, however, we try to go any higher, if my first finger isn't placed very well, it becomes, as you can see, it becomes very, 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 very difficult. Yeah, why? Because, of course, naturally, the fourth finger is shorter, for some people more than others, been mentioned many times, but no joke, especially if you have an especially short fourth finger, this is like super, super, super crucial. Yeah. So you want to shape your hand around the shortest finger, the one that has got really least amount of wiggle room. Yeah. So we're going to do the same exercise again, and we're going to put all four fingers down with the alignment point being the fourth. You can see I've got a straight line here going from my elbow all the way to, in this case, G. Yeah. So practice that over and over and over again. Keep your hand shape. Remember that. Remember your nice C shape here. And aim for the fourth finger. Yeah. So weight on the fourth finger here. There you go. You see, and now that I've got that, you can see that everything here looks really, really, really nicely aligned. Yeah. So you don't have that, you don't have that, you don't have any sort of funny shape. Yeah. When it comes to all things shape, I really always have to quote one of my teachers who put it very simply, and he said, if it looks horrible, it sounds horrible. And he's never been wrong. So you want, and I always compare this a little bit, when you watch absolute elite athletes, yeah, you watch someone like Roger Federer playing tennis, Usain Bolt running, countless other examples. What they all have in common is they make it look so easy that you sit at home on the sofa and think, I can do that. That's not difficult. Yeah, of course, making it look that easy takes an enormous amount of work, but that's what we are aiming for here as well. Yeah, you want to start off from the word go with a shape that makes it look easy. Yeah, you can see I've got a completely straight wrist here, no dips, no bumps. Again, why is that so important? And that simply comes back to laws of physics around leverage. Yeah, you just want your lever, and that being your arm, to be as long as possible, because that means it'll be far, far less work. Yeah, you'll have much more strings in your left hand. So one more time, here we are in half, look at my C shape, and we land anchored on the fourth finger. Yeah, so you can now see, if I turn the cello around, what we've got here. You see, nice natural shape. Yeah, so do give that a go. I would say that is one particular aspect of technique which is really, really worth investing a lot of time into at the beginning, because if you can get that shape and really that correct sort of feeling nailed right from the word go, you will be on a very, very fast road towards progress, and you will have far fewer issues along the way with things like intonation and being able to manage extensions and all of these things. Yeah, so as always, I hope that it's been useful. Any questions, do pop them into the comment section below. I absolutely love to hear from you. And if you liked the video, if you want to come back for more, please smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'm absolutely overwhelmed with how many of you there are out there now. It's absolutely brilliant. And yes, so as you can see, I'm now putting out videos very, very frequently. So do come back for more, and I look forward to seeing you. Bye bye.